Now coming to the GS1, so for every subject in GS1, again, firstly having understood the weightage of different subject and the areas from where questions are coming, so my strategy again was to ensure that my jargon for the GS1 paper is ready. So what I mean for jargon is that in every paper in general studies, there is something expected of you, so that when someone reads your essay, they understand that you probably know key concepts of this paper or the subject. So for history, probably what you would need is that you would have to have a fair idea of the chronology, and you would have to mention the significant events that shaped history. And whereas for geography, you would have to have a fair idea of various key concepts in geography, or have short diagrams through which you can explain your answer better. And even for society, there's a specific jargon. There are key terms that you need to use, which one, it saves time because you don't need to explain the same thing in 2-3 sentences. You can just substitute a keyword for that. And secondly, it also makes your answer seem a little better in quality because you are using subject specific keywords or jargon. So how do you collect this jargon is, one, by your own standard books that you're referring. So maybe it is the NCRTs or maybe some other material that you're referring, and also the model answers to previous year questions, and also the topper answer copies. From all of these, if you're noticing something similar that every person is using, that becomes the keyword that you can understand that for this subject, probably this is what works. So that you have to identify, and those become your jargon or the keywords, and that you have to use, and that is different for every subject. So especially for history, the key events and dates, and for geography and art and culture, maybe the diagrams are important. For society, the key words and key terms and newer concepts and newer examples are more important. So this was my general studies 1 preparation strategy, and in the exam also, focusing on writing proper conclusions and using those keywords was the strategy while writing the exam. So for GS2, in GS2, I have a history in law, so I have graduated in law. So for me, the subjects of polity and governance, that came easy to me. So I spent more time on other areas like international relations. So here I mean, this is something that you have to have your own strategy as to what subject is important or strong for you, and what subject you need to focus more on. So for me, that was international relations, and here I understood that again here some examples of depicting international relations in different arenas is important. And again, the same analysis of model answers of PYQs and the topper copies gave me an idea as to what are the important things while I'm preparing for international relations. And secondly, how am I going to answer it? So even in international relations, I noticed that whenever I'm able to draw a map and then give my answer and explain the relation between two countries or India and another bloc or the global south, etc., my answers are better. So this is a strategy that I adopted, that as far as possible, I'm going to draw a word map and then give my answer. And with regard to polity and governance, my idea was that I have to highlight various articles of the constitution as far as possible, and various landmark judgments of constitution, and for governance part, various schemes and mentioning their key ingredients. This was my main focus area for governance and polity. Now coming to GS3, GS3 being a little technical in nature because of the subjects like economy or environment and science and tech, my main focus here was that I should be very clear on the concepts. So having clear understanding of the concepts and knowing again the technical jargon that is used in, say, science and technology or economy was very important. So I had a notebook where I would mention some key data facts, especially for economy, and just 1 or 2 pages in which I'm mentioning very important data that I'm going to use in different answers in economy was important. And secondly, even for subjects like internal security, again here I noticed that if I'm drawing a map, my answers are better. So practicing drawing maps quickly and understanding again in internal security also the specific jargon of different sorts of internal security threats and latest examples of those. All these things I had noted down in a short notebook. Again, the whole GS3 paper I could have summarized in just 3 or 4 pages probably. So this was the strategy for preparing for GS3. And when writing answers for GS3, again the idea was that I don't take the whole GS3 as one paper itself. but I would rather think of it as questions from economy or questions from environment, questions from internal security, and then answer them accordingly. So I took it subject by subject rather than a whole paper at a time, and then within that subject ensuring that I'm writing down the key concepts, key terms, the jargon and relevant data. Coming to ethics GS4, here my strategy was that in ethics, I need to have definitions of key terms. So in ethics, given again here that ethics can be a very highly scoring subject, if you have a good grasp as to the basic concepts in ethics, then the way you answer becomes better. And again, in ethics especially, using very significant terms and ethical values is very important. So I had just one page where I had written different terminologies of ethics and that I could use in different answers. So along with the key words in ethics, I had made my own definition of various concepts. So be it morals or values or emotional intelligence, along with a standard definition, I had my own simple definition that I can remember very quickly in case I forget the standard definition. So this helped save time when writing the answer. And even these definitions, they do not take a lot of time or space to write and make your own preparation of it. I had made these in just 4-5 pages, very selective concepts of which I have to make a definition. So along with keywords and definitions, the third important thing in ethics is having examples. So for examples, again, my main source was the topper answer copies and the model answers to PYQs. But along with that, I used to follow a couple of pages like the Better Indian or other officers' news on the internet and take up very latest examples of different civil servants who are doing great job and whose stories are inspirational, and use those examples. Again, not too many, because if you put up too many, then you would not remember a lot of it. So just 1 or 2 pages in which I could summarize very important examples that I can use across different answers. So this was my strategy for ethics.